Oh my God.
You want me to do that to you? I know that's why you did it.
Hi, future Joseph and Nyla. Whenever y'all see this, it's currently November 6th. We are currently 7 months together. We're gonna be 8 months next week. Nyla is very sick. As I'm touching her face, she's very warm right now. And I just said a prayer for her. We've been sitting in a car for a minute just talking about life and stuff like that. She should have been left. She wanted to leave. Well, not really, but I'm glad, I'm so grateful that she decided to stay here.
Good morning.
Good morning. How we feeling?
I'm okay. How long you been up?
Probably like 30 minutes. I randomly got up throughout the night, but every time I looked at the screen, it looked dark, so I thought you were still sleeping. When you get up?
Probably like 30 minutes ago, but I kind of went back to sleep.
I love you. Greetings, everyone. My name is Joseph, and today I wanted to come on camera and share someone very special to me. This person is the most important event, the most important anything in my entire life. And this person is my girlfriend named Nyla Rae. And she passed away on March 20th of 2024. And right now, when people tend to think about Nyla, they think about the negative sort of, just focusing on the fact that she passed away, which is understandable, but I spent the past year of my life growing a bond with this person, connecting with this person, just sharing my entire life with this person. And I don't want when people think about her to just think about, oh, she passed away, or just negativity surrounding her. I want, people to sort of think about the positive aspects of her life. She was a real person. It's not like she's just some historical figure or a fictional character. She was a real person. She meant a lot to everyone, but she meant everything to me. And today I just want to highlight my love for her, my time with her, and try my best to showcase as much as I can with regards to our time together. So to start this off, we're gonna go back to January 26th of 2023.
Who got it like this?
Nyla Rae.
Nyla Rae.
So the picture that we're all looking at right now is the actual place that I happened to meet her at. It was a random day. I think it was at like 12 at night, and I was in the middle of the hallway talking with one of my friends, and surprisingly enough, one of the main things that we were talking about was like dating, love. I mean, we had a general conversation about life, but one of the main topics was, the possibility of falling in love. And so we're sitting there during the conversation, and then my girlfriend Nyla just happened to walk past us. At the time, she was just going to do some laundry, but she walked past, and I got a look at her face. I thought she was pretty, but she had a laundry basket in her hand, and she just walked off really fast. So I wasn't really thinking much of it besides a pretty girl walking past me. But the person who I was sitting with just so happened to had went to the same high school as my girlfriend. And she was basically like, oh, maybe you should try to, date her. I don't think she ever had a boyfriend. She's kind of nice. She's pretty. And I was just like, why not? She gave me her Instagram, and And I'm gonna be honest, I was pretty apprehensive at first because she had showed me her Instagram, and the pictures that she had on there were kind of like, it looked like she was a model to me. You know, that the long legs, skinny kind of look that you see when you look at models. And I was kind of intimidated by that, I'm not gonna lie. So I was nervous. I was like, I'm kind of a nice guy. I don't know if she'll mess with me. I might not reach her standard or whatever. But the person that I was there with was just like, give it a shot. She's a chill girl from what I know of her. You know, just try to see where things go. So I decided to listen to that person, and I got into contact with Nyla. And it's kind of funny. There's a text message that Nyla sent me one time, and she was like, you know, who would have ever thought that the random guy just sitting in the hallway would have ended up becoming my boyfriend? And, you know, looking back on it, it really is wow how just a random casual day, and from that moment on, my life was completely changed. So I ended up texting her on Instagram. I got her to meet up with me in person. And the first time we met up in person, you know, when I saw her, again, I was very nervous once I actually, you know, saw her face to face. I walked up to her, I gave her a hug, and we sat down. We were sitting across from each other, and I brought out my computer with the nerves getting to me to try to act like I was typing something on my screen, acting like I was doing homework. But honestly, I was just trying to, you know, find something to do to make sure I looked kind of cool or busy or whatever. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was sitting there. We had a conversation for about 30 minutes to an hour. It was a cool, casual conversation, nothing really to it. There was a basketball game going on at our college. So I asked her if she would be interested in going to the game with me. And she was like, yeah. And from that point on, our relation to each other just continuously built on from that point. Because after the basketball game, I asked her if she wanted to go to Top Golf with me. And then after Top Golf, I've just kept on asking her over and over to go to different places with me. And we got to spend a lot of good quality time with each other. And we really got to know each other. In the beginnings of our relationship, I didn't see it at the time. I made assumptions about her. And I saw who she was as a person, but I didn't really understand it until way later in our relationship. And what I mean by that is that she was kind of like, I could tell that she liked me. She told me that she liked me, but she was kind of timid, quiet, you know, kind of standoffish in the beginning. And the reason for that is because she never had a boyfriend before. She never went on a date, never had a kiss. Pretty similar to me. I never had a girlfriend, never planned a date, never went out like that. And I guess from her perspective, it was basically like, I've never had a guy before. The family that she came from was a bit, you know, it was very a religious family that she came from, a lot of structure. She got to go out and travel a lot, but there were certain things that she wasn't allowed to do. And I guess that kind of built up to a point where when I met her, she was kind of shy when it came to meeting new people. Well, not necessarily shy, but, you know, it just took a while for her to begin to open up to you. And once we went on all the dates in the beginning and just spent quality time with each other, eventually I got to see who she was as a person. And my Nyla, sorry, I'm getting emotional right now. I was not expecting this. I hate crying. I really hate crying. Oof. So my Nyla, she, I told her all the time that I thought she was perfect, and I wasn't saying that to her as like something to say just to get her to like me more. Like when I say she was perfect, she genuinely had like everything that I was looking for in a person. First off, she was very independent, and I found that to be so attractive. It's nothing wrong with not being independent, but it was like she could genuinely like go out in the world and hold her own, and I just really respected that in her. I'll just give you random examples to kind of demonstrate this on a lower level. She would go out to AutoZone, go out to get her car taken care of, you know, all by herself. Didn't need me, didn't need her father, didn't need anybody. She could, go to a random car place if her car was messing up. This happened, I think, once early on in our relationship where she went to get her car checked out and she did it all by herself without help from anyone. Something funny with myself is when I go to a restaurant, I have a little thing where I'll write down the items that I'm gonna get for the meal. I'll write it down on my phone just because I end up forgetting it by the time the waiter comes over. And Nyla, she ended up picking up on that fact. So whenever we went to restaurants, she would I would open the door for her, and then I guess she made sure to walk in front of me, to make sure that she talked to the waiter or whatever, be like, table for two. And then when we sat down, she ordered her things first and just essentially made a space for me to be comfortable. When she kind of knew that I was a little nervous because most of the time I would forget what I would order and it would be a kind of weird, awkward situation. And she kind of just, put her foot forward to make sure that I wasn't feeling any type of way. So I know that's on a lower level, but that goes a long way in a relationship. It's a lot of little things that go on throughout a relationship that makes a relationship amazing. And other features that she had is she was genuinely funny. She was a hilarious person.
All right, you're. And you need to take your zipline trolley off the cable, okay? Can you do that for me? Take your zipline trolley off of the cable. That way you can actually climb instead of rolling backwards. So take your zipline trolley off of that cable for me. Take your time.
You got this. Yeah. Oh no.
Look what I got today.
Whoa.
Cause you dirty.
What face did I make? All I said was, ooh, that's hilarious.
Then your face afterwards.
What type of face was that?
I can't make it.
That was hilarious? This makes no sense.
Hey, Nyla. You stole my heart, and I'm glad you did. You gave me life. Nyla Rae Morrison is the prettiest creation God ever made. Nyla Rae Morrison is gentle and kind, and I feel warm energy. And I feel warm every time I'm around you. Nyla Rae, why you keep saying my full name? Is my girlfriend who will become my wife one day. I love you for everything that you are. Happy Valentine's Day.
And I wouldn't say that it's she was one of those type of people who could, crack jokes like a comedian. That wasn't her. I would just say that she knew me so well that she kind of knew what jokes would make me laugh and what jokes wouldn't make me laugh type thing. And I guess I could say the same for myself. When you spend enough time with somebody, you both get to know each other so well where it's we both weren't comedians, but we just knew exactly what to say to get the other person to smile, laugh, or just feel good. A few other traits that randomly come to mind is her intelligence. She was by far the smartest person I met in my life. I think in high school she was ranked I think it was either number 11 or number 10, something really high up in her class. And the high school that she went to, it was a very high-end, highly competitive type of high school. So for her to get into the top 10 at a very esteemed high school was very impressive. And in college, she went into study radiology. Initially, she was going to become a full radiologist, but she kind of decided to change her plans because she didn't want to do, I think it was 6 years of schooling that she would have had to do. So she wanted to just do, I think it was 2 years, and then she was going to do a program. She ended up passing away right before she got to get into the program. But it was going to be 2 years of school, then do her program, and then she could have got into the workforce. And, like I said, just very intelligent. I remember it was biology that she was taking. And I feel like I'm a fairly intelligent individual, but whenever I was around her when she was studying for her biology, I had no idea what was going on. I was looking at her books. I was trying to, be supportive and help her out, but I just couldn't understand anything that was going on. But she was really good when it came to naturally just having school come easy to her, and then just outside of school, throughout day-to-day life, just very strong-minded, very intelligent individual. And I guess since I mentioned intelligence, I'll kind of talk about one of the compassionate ways that she showed love to me. There was a time when I was with a group of my friends, and during that time that I was with them, we were having a conversation about like who are some of the smartest people in the group that we had. And they began to mention off names, and my name wasn't mentioned until the last, meaning that it was a group of about like 10, 11 of us or something like that. And everybody in the group kind of just said that I was like the dumbest person there. Not in a joking type of way either. Like they genuinely believed that I was like one of the dumbest people there. My closest friend one time, we were also talking about, intelligent people, and he didn't even think to mention me at all. And those situations kind of hurt. They kind of hurt a lot. And I remember, talking to Nyla about intelligence and IQ one time. And I remember her saying that she felt like that I was smarter than her. And that was something that blew my mind when she first told it to me. And I don't know if she was saying that to make me feel better because of, how I felt about my friends saying that stuff, or if she genuinely felt like I was smarter than her. But, her saying that really just warmed my heart, made me feel really good. That was just a moment where she showed a lot of love and compassion to me. She showed that a lot throughout our relationship. She was very to herself. She only had 3 friends, and she cared for each and every single one of them. And again, with me specifically, did as much as she could around the time that we have for each other to just show love. And I guess I'll focus a little bit on what I did for her as a boyfriend. I'm not being humble when I say this. I mean this as much as I'm gonna say it. I genuinely believe that I was as good as a boyfriend as you could possibly be. I didn't get to become her husband, but I was pretty fucking close. I view her as my wife, and I'm sure if we were to be able to go and ask her, she would view me as a husband. As a boyfriend, well, not just as a boyfriend, as a man in general, when I was younger, I used to watch, Disney movies. The princesses, the prince finds a princess, he does these crazy, out of this world type of things to make the girl fall in love with him, and then they live happily ever after, blah, blah, blah. And, as a kid, that kind of got put into my mind, just the idea of treating a girl really nice and doing everything you can to make a girl feel special. I always, always, always loved that concept and that idea that they showed in Disney movies. And I remember when I was, first starting to like girls, I couldn't get any girls to like me. It was, it was pretty frustrating at the time. I was like, I'm a good guy, I'm a nice guy, but I can't get any of these girls to like me. But I always did tell myself if I could get one girl to like me, appreciate me, and love me back just as much as I, reciprocate to her, then I'm gonna do everything I can to make our time special. And when it came to Nyla, that was it. And like I said, it was about a month and a half after meeting each other that I asked her out. So that just goes to show you, we got together pretty quickly. We vibed off of each other's energy pretty quickly. So I took her on a helicopter, asked her to be my girlfriend. And, in the beginning, I'm just showing my ass off. I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking like, finally, I got her. Now it's time to make her feel special. So I took her to, I think it was like Rainforest Cafe, Tropical Cafe, something like that. It's this place in Michigan with like stuffed animals, and it's like a tropical vibe that they try to give off. I took her to a candle making class. Funny enough, even to this day, the candle that she had never went out. My candle went out a long time ago, but her candle, it still works to this day. We went to this chocolate factory place where we walked in and we were kind of surprised because it was essentially kids everywhere. When I was looking up the place, I didn't know that it was specifically meant for children, but we kind of found it, kind of cute, kind of funny. It was pink everywhere. Pink was her favorite color, so that was a vibe for sure. And it was like a chocolate factory place. We got to walk around, try different flavors of chocolate. We got to take pictures that looked really cool, really nice. And, on and on, just more different cool type of dates that y'all will see on the screen. And I didn't care about the price. I didn't care about, how it would look to freshly meet a person and then go out doing all this type of stuff, because it's like, I knew that Nyla was different, that she was kind, compassionate, loving, considerate. She didn't open up all the way in the beginning, but I just saw it. I knew that she had, genuine goodness in her heart, and I wanted that to be a part of my life. So as a man, when you know something, when you know that you want a woman, you go for it. And that's what I decided to do. I was going for it. And then eventually, this was about, I think 8-7 months into our relationship, her birthday was coming up, and I thought that it was a pretty big day. So I took her to a cooking class. I took her to this mansion where you could walk around and take a bunch of cool pictures. I took her on a boat ride. Then I took her to this really fancy restaurant. And lastly, I gave her like 10 to 15 gifts. Like, guys, I was genuinely so in love with her. I wanted to make sure her birthday was so special, so I did all of that on the same day. And the clips and pictures y'all about to see is from her birthday.
What if your phone just fell? No, I could barely get my own phone. Hey guys, we're preparing for our cooking class. Bye. Exquisite. You can taste the peanut.
Hey. One more time for the one. Do it for the one time. Yeah. What's that? Oh, shoot. Nyla, we about to be up there. Yeah.
Silky smooth.
Alright, you go. Dang it! Surprise! That's the one right there. I'm not joking. That's the one. Open it.
Whoa, my God. You.
Oh shoot!
You making me nervous because you too hype. They can see your face. What's going on?
I love you.
I knew it.
Yeah.
No way.
Yes way.
I knew it. I was like a cocoon.
And after her birthday, she sent me this text message that y'all seeing right now. It says, "Thank you. I just want to say I really appreciate you. You made yesterday special, and I'm so thankful for that. Your hard work and love for me doesn't go unnoticed. I am so grateful to have you in my life. I love you, Joseph Rowland. Now I gotta plan your birthday." And I'm so happy that I was able to do that for her. Obviously, since she's not here now, there is a certain sense of pain because we'll never get to experience that ever again. But I am glad that in her 19 years of life, she did get to experience, falling in love, having somebody take her out on her birthday at least one time in her life. And when you strip everything away, honestly, we didn't give a fuck about fame, money, the outside world. We were just really focused on building up our relationship for the 1 year that we were together. I remember there was one time that we were sitting in a room with each other. This was early in our relationship, like month 2, month 3 of our relationship. And we were sitting in this room. I decided to turn the lights off. And I threw my phone on the floor. She turned her phone off. And we sat there for about an hour and a half. And we genuinely just had conversations about different type of life shit for like an hour and a half. And I don't know how other people's relationships operate. I don't really get into other people's business like that. But with me and her, it was like we could literally just completely separate ourselves from the entire world and just be in our own little world together, our own world where we're both respecting each other, loving each other. Like I was one of those type of boyfriends where, I would drop everything to go to Nyla. I would be playing the game, and then if I seen her calling, I'm turning the game off because I prefer to spend my time with Nyla. If I'm watching TV and then I start thinking about my girlfriend, I turn my TV off and I go call my girlfriend. Anytime I could ever spend extra time, have extra memories with her, I just always took those chances, and I'm so happy that I did. And she did the exact same thing for me as well. For my birthday, she took me to a Detroit Lions game. I had never been to a Detroit Lions game, but I always, wanted to ever since I was a kid, and I told her about it. And she bought the tickets, and we went to that game. And there were so many first type of experiences. Like I said, her first date, her first kiss, my first time going to an apple orchard, funny enough, or cider mill, whatever you call the thing. First girlfriend. So many firsts with our relationship. And at this point in the video, it's gonna, I kind of want to shift things towards where things started to go bad and how she eventually passed away. It was November, and Nyla was born with a disease called sickle cell anemia. And if you don't know what that is, I'll basically put a picture on the screen so y'all can see. And sickle cell essentially is like regular people's blood cells are like a circle sort of shaped. And people with this disease, sickle cell, it gets sickle shaped. It's kind of like a C, like a crescent moon. And it can lead to numerous amounts of problems and issues. And as you can see, it can easily, clot up and create a lot of pain and issues for people with sickle cell. And in November of 2023, about 8-9 months into our relationship, this was the first time that she began to have health issues. And it's really appalling because before I met her, she had a lot of issues when she was a child, but from like the age of 11, 12 years old until when I met her when she was 18 years old, she had no medical issues. She went her whole high school experience and right before I met her experience without any medical issues at all. She was a relatively healthy person. But when November came, she went to the hospital for the first time. I think she was there for like 2 weeks, and it was one of those things where I was concerned and worried, but she was in the hospital, got out the hospital, so I thought everything was fine. And eventually we had a talk, and I took her to a Detroit Pistons game. It's just something random and fun to go do. And with this picture that y'all see right here, and I'm gonna play a video as well, this was the first time she told me that she was a little depressed from her medical situation. And when she told me that she was depressed, she was pretty apprehensive to tell me. And I was like, Nyla, it's me. I'm your boyfriend. You don't have to be shy about this. You can open up to me. And she basically told me that she was kind of depressed because she didn't like the fact that she had to, be in and out the hospital. Because after that first time, she would randomly, periodically have to go back to the hospital to get checked up on because, she was feeling a lot of pain. And then she would come back home. And she was basically telling me that she was depressed because, being in the hospital for a week, 2 weeks, you can't go on dates with Joseph. You can't go to school. You can't go to work. She worked at Target. Your life essentially stops while you're in the hospital for that period of time. And I remember feeling so bad when she told me this. And I didn't say it to her, but I sort of made a promise to myself where I was like, I'm going to make sure that, I raise her spirits, make her feel good, just uplift her as best as I can. So throughout December, I did that. I made sure I called her as much as I could. I texted her as much as I could. Anytime I could hang out with her, I hung out with her, even if I didn't have free time. Sometimes I would even miss classes in school just so I could, go and hang out with her. And I know it may sound crazy or stupid or whatever, but, I don't care. I don't give a fuck at all. I would do it all over again. I would do it all over times 10. I wish, as much, all the gifts, the times, everything that I did with her and spent with her, all that stuff. But I am glad that I decided to do what I could with the time that we did have. And during December, I took her to Christmas light shows, took her to the movie theater. And then when Christmas Day came, it was a pretty special day. Christmas is my favorite holiday, so when she came over, I basically decided to set a lot of things up. I had a bunch of Christmas music playing. I think I had Home Alone, the movie, playing on the TV screen. Set up a lot of board games, had the gingerbreads ready to go, and she came over and we celebrated Christmas.
December 23rd, 2023. And Nyla and Joseph are about to open their gifts.
I would love to see her do it.
That's what she be doing. You would not let me, I was thinking about just telling you, dang, I got you one already.
Yeah.
But these are cute. Are they denim? They denim.
They are.
You said.
What did I say?
You said your gifts wasn't all that.
I don't think they are that.
They are.
That's not Louis Vuitton. That's not Gucci.
See, mine is still expensive.
I've been waiting to put this on.
You already know what
I've
that
been waiting to
was.
put this. This is fly. Fly so.
That's a lot of gifts.
Is it?
Yes, I was gonna ask you what is this stuff.
Oh. No, trust me, those is
It's 3.
trust me, those is
You went all out for real. You was trying to make it seem like you didn't.
I did not go all out. If this is me going all out, you should see me going all out.
You went all out. It's a Polaroid. A Polaroid.
Yeah. What you need a development for when you can take a picture and it's developed.
Yeah, come out instantly. That's what this was for.
Now you're probably wondering, why did you put it in separate ones? And the answer to that is, I don't know. Because I bought that one. You should be worried about an iPhone. That's what you need to be worried about.
You said you weren't getting that. I'm not worried about that.
Okay.
You like rapid stuff.
I really do.
So this one go with that one?
Maybe. Maybe not. You see what I'm saying now? I got you two anklets, like 5 bonnets. You know what I'm saying?
But that's enough.
I know.
Dang.
But you don't even feel like opening up the rest?
I'm like, what could possibly be in the other ones? Why are you eyeing the big one?
I hope it's not the iPhone in
It's not.
It's not okay. Why do it keep sliding off? I looked at that. Everything should have went to a T. Why is this?
It is never that serious. It's okay. It's okay. We just know that Nyla is the champion.
Ain't you shit broke?
Yeah, but I glued it back together.
All right, we're gonna see how long it lasts.
And that was a pretty special day for both of us in our relationship. And after Christmas, still unfortunately she was in the hospital, out the hospital. But we kind of both got relatively normalized to that fact. I know it may sound abnormal to someone hearing like y'all weren't really concerned that she was going in so frequently, and we were, but she went in and then she was okay once she got out the hospital, that we sort of kind of normalized it in our relationship. We celebrated Valentine's Day again, and our 1-year anniversary was coming up. And funny enough, we were getting even closer. Like, I felt like we were getting closer every single day the more and more our relationship went on. I remember in the hospital, she started, telling me stories that I never heard before about her childhood and her upbringing and all different types of stuff. And even, a list of baby names that she had created years ago. We started to collaborate and put more names on the list. And just more and more, she's finding out more about me. I'm finding out more about her. And we celebrated Valentine's Day one more time. I surprised her with, I went out, I bought a hat and I put her name, Nyla, on the hat. And we went to an arcade. And then I think we went out to eat at Texas Roadhouse. And things were going well. Obviously, the health stuff was, she was, it was kind of annoying and depressing for her. It was pretty sad, but in general, we were still pretty happy with each other. And I'm going to read y'all a text message from the last time I talked to her. So this was a scenario where she just got out the hospital again. And I texted her saying, I'm about to go to bed. Didn't know if you'd wake up in the morning or around this time, but you've been asleep for a minute. Our FaceTime seems to be working fine. Love you. See you in the morning. My sleep schedule is off because of the hospital. Sorry. I don't know what happened to FaceTime, but talk to you later. I'm about to go to class. I'll let you know when I'm out. She said, sorry, fell asleep on you. Just woke up, but in pain, don't want to be on the phone. When we were on the phone, we talked about going to the movies to see this. It was called Bob Marley. I never heard of him before, but she was, her and her father liked that artist. And there was a movie coming out about his, musical journey. So we were about to go see that. And then on TikTok, she saw that there was a donut place giving out free donuts. So we were about to go get free donuts and watch this movie. So then I texted, you're fine. No need to apologize. I had just got out of class and was letting you know. Rest up. And then I said, I know we're not going no more, but did you want me to go get the donuts delivered to your house? And then she said, no, thank you. I'm about to go back to the hospital. And as y'all can see, that was the last time I talked to her. That was March 5th. About a week and a half to 2 weeks later, she was gone. She passed away. That 2 week period of time was out of this world. And, you know, we never got to celebrate our 1 year anniversary. Our 1 year anniversary was March 11th, and it was just coming up. We were 1 week away from celebrating our anniversary. And we couldn't because she went to the hospital. And I was thinking she was going to be in the hospital, and then she was going to be out, and then we could celebrate our anniversary. But she went to the hospital, and I was getting updates from her family. Her family didn't want anybody to come up to the hospital. I think it was just her mom, her auntie, her mom's friend, and then her father. They didn't want anybody coming to the hospital because, you know, they had to, there was a lot of swelling with Nyla's body, and her family didn't want anybody to sort of see her in that state. And she had a lot of machines hooked up to her as well. So during that 2 week period of time, I was getting updates on the situation. And then this was about 2 days before she passed away. I got a call. I was driving on my way to work, and I got a call from her auntie, and she asked me who I was closer with, my mom or my grandma. And I told her I was closer to my mom. So we hung up, and then my mom called me, and she was, I never heard my mama talking like this before. The sound of her voice, she just sounded so like shattered and broken. And she basically said like, go to the hospital. And I was trying to ask her like, what's going on? How is she? And she was basically just like, I don't know, just get to the hospital or whatever. So then, you know, this is the most, I mean, don't get me wrong, every day since she's been gone is so shitty. But the day I went to that hospital to see her was something else. I'm not gonna go into too much detail because this is one of the few, like, I don't have an issue when it comes to like tackling my emotions and feelings and processing stuff, but this is, I don't want to go too much into detail because it's just hard. So I went to the hospital, Henry Ford Hospital, and I went up there, and you know, they asked me if I wanted to go in to see her. They told me that I didn't have to, but you know, I'm like, I have to. It's my Nyla. So it's me and my father, but I decided to walk in by myself. I told him I wanted to go by myself, and I saw her body. She was unconscious for the 2 weeks, the 2 week period of time since I had last saw her. So we had our, you know, again, not gonna talk about it too much. And then I wanted my mom. My mom wasn't there. I was trying to get my mom to come, and she didn't come because she said she couldn't leave work. I really wanted my mama to be there. I don't know what that would have did. It wouldn't have changed nothing. I don't even think it would have made me feel better, but I really wanted my mom to be there. So then the doctor sort of sat us down, and this part specifically is like the most soul-crushing part. From my perspective, when he was speaking, it basically sounded like there's nothing we can do. She's gonna pass. She's gonna go. He basically said like her lungs aren't working, her kidneys aren't working, her liver. Like everything is like slowly deteriorating. And again, not going into too many detail, but everything that the doctor was saying, breaking down the whole process, even before she, even before this period when I didn't speak to her, just talking about her whole medical history. Like, could y'all imagine just like spending the past year of your life bonding with the person, connecting and loving with the person, your first love, your forever lover, and then out of nowhere you're sat in a room and you're basically told that that person is probably gonna be gone and there's nothing you can do about it. There ain't shit you can do about it. You just gotta sit there and listen to them speak and tell you that they're gonna try their best. But so about 2 days later she passed away. I woke up in the morning. It was like 6 or 7 a.m. My dad came over to me and he was like, God took her home. And in my mind, it initially went to, is he talking about my grandma? She's older, one of my older aunties, something. But then my brain clicked and I was like, are you talking about my girlfriend? And then he said, yeah. And I mean, that was it. That's the full story. That's the full love story. I guess I could talk a little bit about how it has been since she's been gone. In the beginning, I kind of had an idea thinking that I would be able to handle it. I thought, honestly, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, but I was thinking that I would be able to handle it. But that went away real quick. I guess the only way I could describe it is like, I feel like I died. Like I be feeling like a zombie. Like I feel like I'm just walking around like without a heart, without a soul. Like I lost my person. I lost me. And I had no idea, like when it first happened. I was just so shocked and so blown away. Like I had no idea the amount of shit that comes from that. Like it's like losing her was one terrible, terrible, evil thing. But I didn't know that from that happening, I have like 1 billion different issues that I now have to deal with from now on to the rest of my life. Like I had no idea. I didn't know that it changes your relationship with your family members, her family members, how you view life, religion, love. I had no idea the type of shit. Like, I've never been a suicidal person my entire life, and now I got to deal with that. I've never been a depressed person. I love my life. I love Nyla. I was happy to be around. She was happy to be around. She was 19 years old and got her life taken away from her. And I just had no idea the amount of things that I would have to deal with when she first passed away. I don't trust anybody. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be honest. I have a tough time trusting my parents, my siblings, my friends. I've heard people say like, I love you, Joseph. And I'll say it back to them, but I know in my heart I don't mean that shit. Maybe I do mean it, but I just can't feel that love and trust and compassion right now. When I talk to people over 30 years old, it's one of the heartbreaking things because I'm 20 years old. I'm about to turn 21. Nyla was 19. She was 18 when I first met her. When I talk to people who are 30 years of age and older, I would imagine that one of the first questions they would try to ask me is like, how is your mental health? Are you okay? What can I do to help? Just some random shit. But surprisingly, one of the first things that people ask me 30 years and up, they'll be like, are you talking to any new girls yet? You find any new girls? That shit is wild as fuck to me. I be wanting to slap people in their fucking face when they come to me and they say that shit. Like, if we had a conversation about, like, if they came to me and was like, okay, who is Nyla? Who was she to you? What does she mean to you? How do you feel about her? And then eventually they got to, oh, do you think you'll ever move on? Then I would be like, okay, I'm receptive to this. We can have this conversation. But when it's like the first thing that they say is like, oh, do you have any new girls? That shit fucking destroys me. The sadness that I have to deal with on a regular basis is bad. The anger, the rage, like I get so angry. Like I know that some of my anger is misplaced, but some of it isn't. You know, this losing your lover, I don't know how else to describe it. It's just the worst thing that I could ever imagine. Just, oh man. Like, I am not one of those type of people who was ever like a suicidal, want to kill myself type. I love my life, man. But when you go through shit like this, it's like, bro. What else is there? And it's like I essentially had like a few pillars in my life. So you had like, I would say the first one, I don't know if you want to call it like religion, God, a sense within myself. Like there was something in me that I just enjoyed. I enjoyed life. I love living life. Then I had my girlfriend, Nyla. And then I had my best friend. And then, you know, a lot of different things that stem from that, my interests, my hobbies, blah, blah, blah. But everything is after, you know, that religion, God, whatever you want to call it, my girlfriend and my best friend. So what's happened to me is my girlfriend passes away. So you take her away. Losing her also takes away my religion, faith, whatever. And then also my closest friend, he just had a baby. So I can't rely on him or lean on him for nothing because, you know, he's living his own life. He's got his own shit going on. So, you know, the most important things in my life is just like, it's all gone. It's just me now. It's just me to rely on myself. I mean, I still have her in my heart, but it's just me. And a lot of other things, the smaller pillars, they're all destroyed as well. So it's just me now. I wish I had, I tried to talk to her. I mean, I don't know about the whole afterlife or whatever, but the only thing I could use with Nyla is like the memory of her to rely on. Like I said, my friend, he got his own thing with the baby. The religion is a whole nother, I have to drop a whole video talking about my thoughts about that shit. You know, I can't, like I said, I have a tough time trusting people. I have a tough time keeping relationships with people. You know, I've never really been a great friend. I've never really been a great son to my parents. I haven't been that good at many things in my life, but, you know, Nyla, being her boyfriend, was the one time that I feel like I was not just good at something, I was great at it. I was amazing at it. And, you know, I'm just living through life now, day by day, just doing my thing. I tend to spend most of my time to myself because whenever I do interact with people, you know, like I said, the people aged 30 and up, they say crazy things like, oh, are you talking to any new girls? They say, I've literally had people tell me to forget about her. I've had people tell me to throw away the items that I have of her because it'll keep me in a loop. You know, it's just, and then outside of the people 30 and up, whenever I just talk to anybody, it could be somebody, a friend, it could be somebody random out in public, you know, I just have a tough time speaking and connecting to people. To end off this video, I want to take the time to, just talk to Nyla. Like, literally, not to anyone else, just literally talk to Nyla one-on-one. Hey. I just want to say, there's a million things that I could say to you, but I just want to say, firstly, I'm so sorry that had to happen to you. I remember there were so many times when we talked about how people didn't really take your disease seriously, and I remember how you told me that you were like scared because you were like in and out of the hospital, and I remember how scared you were, and I'm just so sorry that you had to go. You were 19 years old. You were working a minimum wage job, $15 an hour. Like, you didn't even get a chance to really live your life yet, for real. I just want to say I'm really sorry that had to happen to you. And the next thing that I would like to say is just like, thank you. Like, meeting you, having that type of love that we have with each other, it's like, oh man. To have that type of time that we did have with each other was so special and so amazing. So I just want to say thank you for everything that you gave me. You know, I feel like I love myself now more than I ever did before, and that's because of you. I'm confident now because of you. I believe in myself because of you. And I just love you so much, and I want to thank you for everything that you gave me. I don't know if I will ever see you again. I don't know if I'll ever hear from you again. But if you are out there, and if you can hear me, I just want to say you mean and you meant everything to me. Your life has meaning. Your life is always going to be meaningful to me. And, I know people say, like, be more Jesus-like, be more Christ-like, but for me personally, it's like, I want to be more Nyla-like. If people could act more like Nyla, then I feel like the whole world would just be an amazing place to be in. So, to end this video off, I just want to say again, thank you so much for everything. I love you so much. And if we ever get to see each other again, I look forward to it. And I'm going to always appreciate my time with Nyla Rae, my forever lover.